Welcome to another episode of the Glacier Guys podcast. I'm your host, Joey Fernandez, and I'm here with my co-host.
Hey guys, it's Omar Shalabi. How's everyone doing?
So today we're going to be talking some NFL moves, probably the craziest offseason ever, and then some MLB moves. So let's get straight into it. So yesterday, we'll start off with the most recent of news. Tyreek Hill traded to the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's huge.
It kind of came out of left field.
That was very unexpected. I didn't think the Chiefs would let him go. Granted, they got a lot for him. I mean, five picks is ridiculous, but I don't know. I guess the Chiefs see something that we don't, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's a top 3 receiver in the league, no doubt about it, and they kind of just shipped him off when he wanted the contract. I mean, he got paid, don't get me wrong. I think it was 4 years, $120 million, which is outrageous. But to let a guy go like that, I mean, I feel like they felt like they could replace him.
Yeah, I mean, he is he's a different weapon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you've never really seen anyone like him in the league before.
He's not like your generic receiver, right?
No.
And, you know, if I were the Chiefs, I would have kept him, especially when you got Mahomes throwing the ball.
Yeah, I definitely see the argument for that. I think the only thing that you could say against it is that since Patrick Mahomes was getting paid so much, maybe they didn't want to pay both of them so much because it would take up like almost all their salary cap just for offense as a whole.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's hard to let a guy like that go, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that's what happened with Green Bay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they gave Rodgers their entire bank account.
Yeah, exactly. So they also shipped off Devonta Adams for basically the same kind of package.
I think that right there is the biggest move in the end. Oh, that and Russell Wilson, but the Devonta Adams move is insane because he's going to play in Las Vegas with Derek Carr, who, you know, he used to play with back in college, you know.
Fresno State, baby.
Yeah, and as Bears fans, I think we're happy to see Devonta Adams go.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sick of those 4th and 2 out routes that are unstoppable every time. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Rodgers is feeling right now, but if I were him, I'd be livid because he's my go-to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously he's still going to be successful because it's Aaron Rodgers, but to have your go-to guy leave, it kind of sucks. Obviously. So, I mean, for looking at it from the Dolphins standpoint, going back to Tyreek Hill, I mean, they have 2 of the fastest players in the league. I know they have the fastest, and then probably top 3 fastest player.
With Mostert,
and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. I forgot about him.
Yeah, I love Jalen Waddle a lot coming out of the draft, and he only proved me right this year. Especially with how that offense runs.
Yeah.
They didn't even use him in the correct way, and he still had 100 catches and 1,000 yards. So, I mean, if they can open up the offense a little bit with all that spacing they're gonna have, with the deep threats in Waddle and Hill, I think the sky's the limit with that offense. It all just comes down to Tua at that point.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, that's it. I completely agree with you. But just to clarify real quick, here's what the Dolphins gave up for Tyreek Hill. For this year, 2022, they gave up their 1st round and 2nd round picks. So they have none of that this year. And forgive me. For 2022, 1st round, 2nd round, and 4th round.
Okay.
So this year they pretty much got nothing.
Yeah.
And then next year, for 2023, they gave up their 4th round and their 6th round. So deep into the draft, they won't have anything. But going into 2022, the Dolphins won't have nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth it for them, honestly.
I agree. I mean, Tyreek Hill is different.
Yeah, obviously, Tua is not known for his deep ball, and he's really not known for much at this point, but he's still very young. I mean, the deep game that's going to be opening over the middle for them is going to be amazing. So a guy like Devontae Parker could easily eat over the middle because Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are going to be getting 2 deep safeties the whole time. So
and the Dolphins extended Tyreek too. They extended him to a 3-year, $75 million extension. So he's going to be there for
for the better good of his prime.
Right.
He's turning 28, I believe, or he just turned 28.
Yeah, so he's got
some years left.
Yeah.
I don't see that speed leaving anytime soon.
No, not at all. Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to see. They did get Teron Armstead, the left tackle from the Saints, also. So he's got a guy to watch, not his blind side because he's lefty, but he's got a guy on the line that's going to be a stalwart for them. So
absolutely.
it's going to be, I don't know. They got a new coach in there. They got Mike McDaniel, the passing game coordinator from the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot.
Yeah,
so.
I like his demeanor.
Exactly.
It's
me
really,
too.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun to watch.
So they're becoming one of my not favorite teams, but one of the teams I'm excited to watch a lot.
And I think as NFL football watchers, seeing the Dolphins somewhat grow into somewhat of a successful team, I think is something
it's nice to see.
People root for,
Yeah, I mean, I know all through my life the Dolphins really haven't been much.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's like whenever somebody thinks of the Dolphins, it's always like, oh, they're that crappy team in the AFC East.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a while for them, so good for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving on to a similar move, a very similar move. The best receiver in the league getting traded to the Raiders, and Devonta Adams. Obviously, we talked about it from the Packers side, but from the Raiders side, I think this is huge.
He is definitely, I think, in my opinion, I think he is the best receiver in the NFL right
now. No doubt. No one can deny that right now.
The most consistently best, outperformed receiver in the league. And sure, he had Aaron Rodgers, but say what you want.
He's getting open every play.
He gets opened every single time when he needs to be, right? And I think Derek Carr is a good enough quarterback where if Devontae gets open enough, Derek's going to hit him.
Yeah, I definitely think he's not a top 10 quarterback or anything like that, but I think he's a good top 14, top 13 quarterback.
Absolutely.
And you can win with a guy like that if you have Devonta Adams and Darren Waller and all those guys.
And that defense
Hunter
that
Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah.
I think he's after Cooper Kupp. He reminds me a lot of Cooper Kupp in a lot of ways.
Just with a little less speed.
Just
but
a little bit,
he's very shifty after the catch and everything like that. Yeah, he's very solid. I think he's underrated. I think people started to recognize him more a little this year, but either way, I think that's a great receiving core that they have right now.
Yeah, and the chemistry is going to be insane with Devontae and Derek. I mean, so it's like, and we know what Devontae can do with good chemistry, and he has a presence on the field where it's like maybe we need to double cover this guy, and then it leaves somebody else open in the backfield maybe. You know?
Definitely. I think they're going to be really exciting, especially with Josh McDaniels as their new head coach coming from the Patriots. So,
really?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of that.
They hired him?
Yeah. So
wow. Wasn't he the offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
he's
actually
going to drop some good plays for them for sure.
Holy cow, I actually had no idea that happened.
Yeah, and then Chandler Jones coming to the Raiders
Playing on
the other side of Max Crosby. That's going to be big for them also. So
yeah, watch out for the AFC this year,
AFC
man.
West in general, because they might be the worst team in the AFC West.
The Chiefs, I think, are the worst team in the AFC West.
I can't say it. I can't do it.
It's hold on. It's the Chiefs, it's the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It could be the Chargers. It could be.
Dude, Chargers. What's his name? Is
Justin
insane.
Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah. He had a great. Those last few games he had last year, insane.
Yeah. He had a nasty year just in general. I don't know. I really can't put the Chiefs last there. I feel like it just.
Yeah, with Mahomes, you can't.
He's gonna make up. He's gonna compensate for whatever Tyreek Hill left. I firmly believe that.
That's a big loss for them. Man.
No, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Man. I think so too. But they signed Juju Smith-Schuster, obviously, who isn't Tyreek Hill or anything like that. But he's a solid wide receiver.
It is a good pickup. It is a good pickup. Yeah.
And then they're looking at other guys. They're looking at Marquez Valdez-Scantling, possibly either from the Packers.
Watch them pick up Julio Jones.
That could also happen. I mean, they haven't really. There's been nothing really coming out about Julio Jones. I'm not really sure where he's interested in, but the Chiefs, you can never really go wrong.
I'd love to see him go to the Bears.
That'd be nice too.
Just to have that veteran receiver help out like Mooney, for example, and help out Fields a little bit. I think having a solid veteran receiver, something like Larry Fitzgerald was. Yeah. The Bears haven't been making moves, dude.
Yeah, I haven't been I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I think what they're going for is just very young players.
That's fair.
Everyone they've signed is 26 and under, so they're just trying to get very young, and they're trying to kind of cut the scraps of what was of the last regime. So.
No, I think Poles is definitely trying to think ahead, right? And if that means sacrificing a couple seasons, so be it.
Yeah. Next year, the Bears are set up to have over $130 million in cap space. They're just going to have money to throw around like nothing. So I'm really excited about that. But moving on to the NFL, not to the NFL. Moving on to the next move, Desean Watson to the Browns. Along with Amari Cooper, we can include those together. So,
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. The AFC is just...
That's a complete revamp of the team.
Man. And say what you want about Desean Watson. Say what you want about what happened off the field.
Yeah,
On the field, the guy's a great quarterback.
No, yeah, you can't deny that. We can stay off the legal issues because obviously we're not lawyers or anything like that.
Right.
But with the on-field though, I mean, it can't be denied that he's great.
When you have the best route running wide receiver in the NFL with Amari Cooper, and it's like, and you still have Chubbs as your running back and Hunt,
yeah.
And who's that tight end they got? What's his name?
Austin Hooper, but they cut him, I think.
No, the other one.
Oh, David Njoku.
Yeah,
he's solid.
He's solid.
I think that passing attack's going to be booming this year.
And they got that defense?
Yeah, exactly. They got Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward and all those guys. So it's going to be an exciting team. I had high hopes for them last year. I thought they were going to be one of the best teams in the league, honestly.
Yeah.
So that upgrade, I think Baker held them back a lot, whether or not he was injured and all that. I mean,
I agree.
You could take that into account, but I think either way he held them back, and I think Desean Watson's only going to take them to that upper echelon of the AFC that they deserve to be in with that roster.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited for next season. And probably the biggest move is Russell Wilson to the Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, this is arguably top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league.
Yes, no doubt.
And when you have that young team at Denver,
love those receivers they got there.
Man, I mean, nothing against Drew Lock. I mean, he's still trying to figure himself out.
Yeah,
but
he's not Russell Wilson, not even close.
But it's like if you remember what the Broncos did with Peyton Manning, this is sort of similar.
No, very yes.
And that's gonna be so fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching him develop that young receiving core.
Yeah, they got guys like Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick. All those guys are solid, really solid receivers. And it sucks that they traded Noah Fant because that would have been nice to see him with Noah Fant. Yeah. But either way, they still got Albert Equinocme. I can't say his name. It's Alberto.
Yeah.
But either way,
Allen Robinson to the Rams. I mean, that's another pickup that they have now.
What's new?
Yeah.
Along with Allen Robinson going there, they traded Robert Woods to the Titans.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
They lost a 5th rounder. And they lost Von Miller.
Yes.
He's going to the Bills.
Surprising. Very surprising.
Number 1 defense in the league last year, just picked up
a future Hall of Famer
on their line.
Yes. They have some guys now.
6 years, $120 million.
That's crazy to me though. Because he's older. He's an older guy.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Miller's a Hall of Famer, but it's like,
man,
that's a long time. That's a long time
for a 31, 32-year-old pass rusher who could lose a step by the time they get to that third year.
That's what I'm saying, dude. The AFC, whoever comes out of the AFC will be the best team in football.
Yes, and it's going to be a dogfight.
And they're beating whoever comes out of the NFC.
It's getting kind of like East and West in an NBA term.
Yeah, it really is, yeah. And, with Brady coming back, sure, you got him in
I think that's why he came back.
Yeah, probably.
He's got a cakewalk to the NFC Championship game. It's going to be him versus Aaron Rodgers.
Man.
Just who gets their shot at whoever the best in the AFC is. That's what it feels like at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, all these moves.
These
moves. And the Steelers with Trubisky and they picked up somebody else the other day. I can't remember who on defense. Miles Jack from the
Jaguars.
Yeah. From the Jaguars.
That's a great pickup for them. They have a very fast linebacking crew right now because they have Devin Bush also, who's also very fast.
And Watt.
Yes. But like I said earlier, with the Chiefs signing receivers, they just signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling to a 3-year, $30 million deal.
No way.
Yeah, so called that one.
You did?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So who does Rodgers have now?
They lost Equinemi St. Brown, too, so they have Alan Lazard and Alan Lazard.
That's... Dude. Packers are probably going to pick up, what's his name, Julio Jones.
That would make a lot of sense.
And Jarvis Landry's out, too.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry's out there.
They have Randall Cobb, I believe.
They do have Randall Cobb. Yeah, no, so Jarvis Landry's an option.
There's not all that many, because a lot of them are gone,
Man, Valdez-Scantling's gone.
Yeah.
And he went to the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's their deep threat right there.
Oh my god!
He's always the guy that you see open.
You are on
deep.
point with that.
Yeah, it felt like a good fit too. There's some murmurs about it, but yeah. Either way, next up we can go talk about the Khalil Mac with the Chargers. The AFC West once again strikes.
Unbelievable. Man.
Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. I mean, good luck.
On the same line.
Good luck. There's not really much you can really do there.
Dude, if the NFL had like an all-star game like they do in the MLB, where there's an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference,
where they actually like care.
Yeah. Like what they do in the Pro Bowl, but like if they actually cared.
Yeah.
Man, that AFC team
might be a slaughter.
Chew up that NFC team, man.
They could have a new quarterback coming in every play and still be better than most of the NFC quarterbacks.
If you look at it from the Bears' perspective, and speaking objectively here, and even speaking as a Bears fan,
yeah,
Mac's been declining since he got here. It's not, we're not like sugarcoating it or anything. He hasn't been that good. Every year he's somewhat deteriorated a little bit.
Okay.
And he's coming off of an injury.
Yes.
So, don't get me wrong, I love the guy, and he's a dominant player, but what, I have trust in Poles right now, and I'm hoping that he has a plan for this team, and if that means letting go, I mean, who have they let go? They let go of Mac, Cohen, Trevathan, Goldman.
I mean, they're letting Hicks walk basically.
Hicks. I mean, he's completely cleaning house.
Yeah, no, he's getting rid of everything.
And
James Daniels.
So I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
These aren't. I mean, Cohen's been hurt for how long? Eddie
Yeah.
Goldman. I'm not sure. Akeem Hicks. I would keep him. I think
he's older, but I definitely wouldn't mind keeping him.
He has the effect in the middle.
Yeah, no, I don't mind him.
But I'm hoping Poles knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
and
I have faith.
We'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay optimistic until he gives me a reason not to be.
Absolutely. That's that's it right
you
there.
You kind of just gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean,
Robinson too.
Yeah.
But
that was kind of a known thing. That relationship was pretty tarnished.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think Ryan Poles is just trying to get younger. That's all it really feels like. Obviously, we're stripping talent away, but we got some picks for Khalil Mack, and I'm fine with it. Honestly.
Yeah. And you can't ignore the salary cap thing.
Yeah, exactly. Next year, we absorbed a lot of dead cap this year, so obviously we couldn't spend as much as we would like.
Right.
But at the same time, next year we're gonna be able to go ham.
Yeah.
It feels a lot like the Bengals formula.
It does.
Because they weren't very good for a year, but then they went out in free agency and signed a bunch of people. They had over $100 million in cap space, and they spent all that money, and then they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I think NFL teams are taking note of that, and they might be trying to do the same thing.
Yeah. The more and more I think about it, I just realize that, I mean, the AFC is just full of these competitive teams now.
And the NFC is wide open.
And the NFC really is wide open. I mean, the NFC is just full of average to middling to terrible teams.
Yeah.
And, you got the Buccaneers and you got the Packers and then you got the Rams and then that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And so, yeah, I mean, going forward, I think the NFL is about to get a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it already wasn't anyway, but yeah, right. But it's even getting even better because everyone loves a good team switch as long as it's not their team that's getting the short end of the stick.
Absolutely,
so.
Absolutely.
Another smaller move that we didn't talk about was Matt Ryan to the Colts. I think that's decent. I don't think it's anything crazy of note, but it seems like that's the Colts thing right now.
Yeah.
It's like a carousel of quarterbacks. They had the Jacoby Brissett experience. They had the Phillip Rivers. They had the
Carson Wentz,
and now they got the Matt Ryan.
Speaking of Carson Wentz to the Commanders, Washington, I guess the him and the Matt Ryan moves are somewhat similar to me.
They just seem like very middling moves.
Average quarterbacks to middling average teams.
Yeah.
I mean, actually,
I like the Colts.
I like the Colts. Yeah.
I think they have a great roster. They're just a quarterback away, but they just keep getting these stopgate quarterbacks. Obviously, Matt Ryan's been an MVP. I don't mean to disrespect him or anything.
But he's not.
That.
He's
older.
Yeah, he's older. He's had less seasons,
Yeah. I do think that he's in a better place to succeed than he was in Atlanta, though.
I agree. I
think he definitely will be better. I think he's better than he's shown in recent years.
You'll never know. I mean, we've seen Matt Ryan when he's good, and he's good. You know?
Yes.
And, I mean, that year when they went to the Super Bowl, he was insane.
Yes.
And, you never know.
Yeah,
changing scenery could, kickstart something.
Yeah, exactly.
And same thing for Wentz. Wentz was really good with Philadelphia those first couple
years.
Yeah. And sure, he got hurt, but,
he just kind of has those moments where he's like, F it.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. If he could just eliminate those moments and just be like, calm down, Carson, calm down, then he would be so much better. But it just doesn't seem like he's wired that way. It seems like he's always going to try to make that miraculous play and throw the ball while he's getting tackled by 6 guys.
Yeah.
And then throw a pick 6.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize that reading NFL defenses is probably one of the hardest things to do in sports.
Oh, yeah.
And fitting that with the ball is this big, but with all those huge guys, it's like this big.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you try to fit it in those, tight spots, it's like people don't realize that playing quarterback in the NFL is not a walk in the park.
No, not at all. And you have the pass rush.
Absolutely. You have these monsters of men trying to
take your head off.
Tear your head off, while at the same time you're trying to find somebody open to throw the ball to. I mean, I've sort of grown a sense of appreciation for these guys, for all the positions, don't get me wrong, but the quarterbacks are the heart and soul of the team, and it's like, it's fine to have your quarterback, but you just got to make sure that you evolve him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, man, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. And then, do you have anything else for football you want to talk about?
Honestly, no. I'm just, waiting for the next Madden game to come out, and I'm going to grab it because all these moves, you got a completely different league now.
Yeah.
It's like franchise mode when you have all these weird moves.
This is like the franchises I would make when I was like 7 years old with forced trades on.
When you're like 10 seasons in,
So, moving on to some MLB, one of the bigger moves was Carlos Correa in a surprising move, going to the Twins.
I didn't think he would go there.
I didn't think so either.
I knew it was an option. I just thought he was going to go, I mean, if I were him, I know they're paying him, so like he's won his World Series, he could just be under the mindset, I'm just trying to get a bag and play, so, at least, we don't have another super team on our hands. If he had gone to the Dodgers or something, that would
good luck.
It's like as if the Dodgers aren't already a super team.
Yeah. Do you have the details of the contract by chance?
Give me 1 second. Let me look it up.
Well, either way, I think it's an interesting move. I was very baffled by them trading Josh Donaldson to the Yankees, but obviously we see now that it was to clear the cap space, or not the cap space, it's just to clear the money to acquire him. But I don't know. I still don't really see a direction for the Twins because their team is still extremely flawed. They just have like
they just picked up Correa, and now it's like
they got Sonny Gray too, but it's just weird. I don't know. I don't really see exactly where they're trying to go with this. I don't like their bullpen all that much. I think their starting rotation is pretty flawed. They traded away Jose Barrios last year. Yeah. I mean, if you were going to try to win, why wouldn't you just keep him and not get Sonny Gray? But I don't know. It's weird. It's a very odd team. Clearly, they think they can win. I don't see them ever really beating the White Sox in the division, but since they added more playoff spots, maybe that they think that they can compete now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, just going back to that Correa thing real quick, it's a 3-year deal.
Okay, yeah, and there's opt-outs after every year, I believe.
Right. So, it's not a long-term thing.
No.
And he's still young. Mm-hmm. So it's not, he'll probably be done with the Twins, and after those 3 years, he'll probably leave.
Yeah, they're not keeping him. They're not signing him to like that 6 or 7 year deal that he seeks. So
I hate what I've seen. What I'm seeing with the Dodgers. Don't get me wrong. I love Freeman. And
moving on to that.
But it's like we gotta address that because the Dodgers. I would have loved to see him go to the Red Sox.
That would have felt nice.
That would have felt nice, and I love that Trevor Story went there. But, seeing Freeman go to the Dodgers, it's like, well, that was expected. They're paying him.
It's the hometown kid kind of story, too, that always seems to happen. But, I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. It feels right, him being a Dodger, honestly. Like, just seeing him in the uniform and stuff like that, it feels like it makes sense.
And it's a pretty long contract. It's a 6-year, $162 million contract.
Yeah.
And, and he is on the older side of his career.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say he's old, but
No,
you know, he's past.
not.
He's a little bit. No, don't get me wrong.
He'll be past his prime at the end of this deal.
It will.
So.
It will, and he might finish his career there. We don't know, but you know, the Dodgers just grabbed arguably the best first baseman in the league right now, as if like they weren't good enough already.
Yeah, and
granted, they lost Scherzer, they lost Seager.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Did they lose somebody? Oh, they lost Kenley Jansen.
Mm-hmm. But they always just find a way to bounce back and.
But the Dodgers are just always competitive.
They're just one step ahead of every other team usually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. Because Freddie Freeman, I feel like he did want to go back to the Braves. They just traded for Matt Olson and didn't really contact him much over the winter.
Yeah,
which is weird. I think they saw the age and they saw how much younger Matt Olson is, and they saw that they could get him for a similar price, so they said, why not?
Yeah, I mean, and I love the Olson move.
Yeah, I love
that
it too.
Don't get me wrong.
And he's also from there too.
He is.
It's the two home count.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a stud. He really is.
No, yeah, he's a monster.
And he's young.
Yes.
And he wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
And the Braves still have most of their team. They got Rosario back. They have, pretty much. They lost Peterson, but
they got Acuna back.
And
they got
that
Albies,
team.
They got Swanson.
That team is. But here's a team to watch out for. Watch out for the Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah.
Because they picked up Matt Chapman. Uh-huh. He plays third base for them.
I forget about that, actually. I don't know how I forgot. But
and they got that young team over there, and they want to win.
Yes.
Right? And I'm excited for them, too. The Rangers, but, we also got that insane 1-2 knockout of pitching in New York with the Mets. You got Scherzer and DeGrom.
Can't beat that. You physically cannot beat that.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how I feel about the identity of the rest of their team. It's a bit. I think I read something the other day about Pete Alonso getting hurt or something.
Oh yeah.
Did you read that? So there was like an accident he was a part of. Or something.
He was lucky to be alive. He said. Yeah. In a car accident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. So, the Phillies with Castellanos and Schwarber.
That's big.
And they already got their team. They got Harper. They got Hoskins. They got Gregorius.
Real
Muto. So, and they got Girardi.
Yeah.
And
then they have a good 1-2 punch with the top of the rotation and Wheeler and Nola. So.
Oh, Jansen went to the Braves.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a really good move.
So there's an interesting rivalry going on there. Especially with Freeman going there and then Jansen going to the Braves.
Yeah.
And then along with them just playing each other in the playoffs, like it feels like every year now. So it's gonna be something really to see.
Here's one I kind of scratched my head a little bit at was Bryant to the Rockies. I think
both sides.
Yeah, I think 7-year deal, by the way.
The sayonara, Chris Bryant.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just going there to hit homers because of the lighter air in Colorado.
That, and I feel like they definitely paid him the most, obviously, because I don't think he goes to Colorado without being paid the most money by them.
Yeah, I think.
But it's weird. Why the Rockies are spending money now? I don't know.
Yeah, what? 182. 7-year, 182.
Yeah, well, they signed Nolan Arenado to a deal, and they traded him like a year in. I don't understand. Why not just keep Nolan Arenado? And then just sign Trevor Story also?
Who else do they have?
Trying to figure it out. They traded Raimel Tapia today, so they have Randall Grichuk, Ryan McMahon.
What's his name in the outfield?
Charlie Blackmon.
Charlie Blackmon.
But he's on the other side of 30, so it's like I don't really know what you're shooting for.
They just lost Trevor Story.
They lost John Gray too.
So Gray.
So they have Herman Marquez.
Yeah, Anthony
Senzatella.
Yeah, I think Brian's just looking at the money here.
Yeah.
This team does not look like it's gonna win.
No, not at all. That's why I don't really understand. Their bullpen isn't very good. Then Daniel Bard last year is their closer, I think. So I don't really. I wish I could really explain this move, but I can't.
Yeah, I can't either, honestly. Yeah, there are a lot of moves in the MLB. I mean, a lot of minor moves like Joe Kelly to the White Sox. Sox fans are. That's gonna be fun to watch.
Big fan, yeah, big fan.
You did lose Rodon though.
Yeah, it was kind of expected.
Yeah.
To the Giants, I'm happy for him. I think he deserved to get paid. Mm-hmm. I think they paid a decent amount, more than I thought he was going to get personally. But I'm cool with it. He's a good guy. He did his time here.
Yeah.
He can go get his bag.
Yeah. I mean, there's the Donaldson, Gary Sanchez, and Urshela trade with the Twins and the Yankees.
Weird trade for the Twins.
Yeah.
I know they got Correa because of it, but it just at the time it felt so weird. Like why?
Yeah, and actually, looking at this move right here, I think the Twins have somewhat of an identity a little bit.
They want to hit bombs.
Yeah, and they have this team now with Correa, right? And I think they might develop into something.
I just don't know how high that something's gonna be.
Yeah. You never know, honestly, especially with baseball. It's like look at the Yankees when they picked up Stanton. People were like, okay, it's over. Yeah. It's over, and it's like sure.
It always feels like that every year with them.
And like sure, they've been competitive, but it's like they haven't been producing what people thought they would.
No.
And so, I guess that's the beauty of baseball, and that's the thing about the Dodgers, right? If somebody's going to find a way to beat the Dodgers, it's not because, they were better than the Dodgers, but just because it's baseball. Sometimes guys just don't perform to the level that they're expected.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Peterson to the Giants, not a bad move, but they lost Posey, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, the Cubs picked up
Seiya
Suzuki from Japan.
That. Yeah.
And he's a stud.
No, yeah, he's a monster.
His stats last year, 317 batting average, on base percentage 433, 636 slugging, 38 homers and a Golden Glove. I mean, that's stud.
He got paid the most for a Japanese player ever. Besides Tanaka, but for a position player.
So that's gonna be fun. I mean, the Cubs are crap. You can't beat around the bush there. I mean, they got Stroman, but everyone else is just a bunch of young, nobodies, and then they picked up Suzuki. So, you never know with the Cubs, and the Cry Broke thing. We talked about that last time. That's nonsense. They have money,
Clearly, as they spend it.
Yeah. So it's like, that's Chicago. I think the Sox are still above. They have a hand above the Cubs here.
Yeah, no doubt.
In Windy City, but but yeah, other than that, I think we pretty much covered all the moves. I'm trying to look it over real quick. I think that's everything. Trevor Story to the Red Sox. That's a good move. They have that stud infield. They got what's his name at third, Devers, and they got Bogarts at short. They're gonna put Story at second probably.
Yeah.
And then they got Dalbec at first. So
that's good.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And they still got Chris Sale, don't they?
Yes. So it's an exciting team. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No. I think that's it. Honestly. A lot of moves, and looking forward to, spring training's underway and opening days next week or in a week and a half or 2 weeks, something like that. So, get into some warm weather. So we're looking forward to it.
Yep. All right. Well, that concludes this episode. You can access this podcast on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube, and wherever else you access your podcast. So have a good one. See you next week, and peace.